Good morning, everybody! It's me, GameChamp 3000, your favorite internet rant tuber. I'm so evil. I hate Nintendo. Let's all do the 5-minute hate at Nintendo. So I know I don't do these kinds of videos very often. This is really like super off the cuff, but Nintendo just patched in virtual game cards onto the Nintendo Switch, and I have a lot of thoughts. This is like a really big deal. Most important, it's not just that like I want to rant because like I'm oh so angry. There's actually a lot of misinformation about the game card system that I think is really important for everybody to like get cleared up. And also there is some nitty-gritty details of it that I didn't even know at first, and Nintendo isn't really broadcasting, and I think they're very important for everybody to know. Obviously, this is not going to be anywhere near as badly edited as my normal videos. This is going to be a lot worsely edited. I'm just trying to get this rushed out, correct the misinformation, get everybody informed. Quick primer to make sure everybody's on the same page. A month ago, Nintendo announced virtual game cards, a super cool new system where you can like totally take ownership of your digital games on the Nintendo Switch. The way it works is instead of owning the vague concept of a digital game, you now own a digital game card, which works mostly the same way as a physical game card. You put the digital game card into a Nintendo Switch, and that makes that Nintendo Switch capable of running that game. And a big part of the virtual game card system, like why would you care about this virtual game card system? The big thing is that, well, you can share your games. You can share your digital games. Whoa, isn't that cool? You can loan your games out to your friends for up to 14 days as long as they're in your family plan. This is a really super cool new feature. And of course, without the 14-day limit, you can just put your game on one console or the other. Like if you've got 2 Nintendo Switches in your house, if you're married and your wife wants all of your super cool video games, you can go, I got you, wife. Here is all my super cool video games. I will just push them onto your Nintendo Switch and she can play them all and it's super cool and great. Yeah, happy faces everywhere. So you might be asking, GamerChamp, what the heck? Why are you mad? Why are you going over? What's with you being such a Nintendo hater going over to Nintendo and going, grr, I hate your super cool new features. I hate sharing games with my friends, grr, and I hate Nintendo so much. Well, I think that'll be more apparent after I get through all of the misinformation. Number one most important thing to get us through this whole thing and get us started, game sharing is not a new feature. The Nintendo Switch already supported game sharing 48 hours ago. It supported it for years. I have used it for years. Many people have used it for years. It's just been a thing you could do. Now, of course, there are new aspects of virtual game cards that were not in the previous game sharing system. Previously, you would have basically just 2 switches. You would have your primary device, which would have all licenses for all your games, and you would have your non-primary device, which would only have licenses for your games if you are connected to the internet and trying to play the game with the account that owns the game. Now, a limitation of the prior system, which has actually been eliminated with virtual game cards, was before the licenses for like playing offline and playing as other users were all or nothing. One Switch has every single game you own, the other has absolutely none of them and has to do the online verification. Now, with virtual game cards, you can split the games piecemeal between the 2 Switches. Let's say that I really love Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and my wife really loves The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Important to note, both of those games, they are only owned on my account. She does not own either of them, they're only on my account. We both have the respective game cards on our respective Nintendo Switches, and then let's say we both go on a trip to the moon, which unfortunately doesn't have an internet connection on the moon, but that's fine because before we left, we loaded up the game cards onto our respective systems. I boot up, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity on my Switch in offline mode, it's fine. She boots up The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on her Switch in offline mode, and it's fine. Everything's fine. You couldn't do that before. And then, of course, the second new feature is the ability to move those game cards onto even a Switch that, like, you didn't have your account on. It can just be somebody in your family plan. You can loan it to them for up to 14 days, and it'll function the same as having the virtual game card in your own system. So yeah, this is a cool, like, little reinvention of the pre-existing game sharing system, and of course it makes it way more intuitive. It's always so difficult to explain to someone who's not, like, fully familiar with digital games. Like, I've been buying games digitally since the 360 era. This is all ingrained in me. I fully understand it. But if you're explaining the ownership of a digital game to someone who, like, has hardly dabbled in it at all, they mostly buy their games physical, they're not going to understand very easily, but they understand a game card, so it's gonna be a lot easier if you just convert all of the concept of this vague digital ownership into the same packaging as a physical game card. That's a lot easier to understand, and I see that. Like, people understand virtual game cards way better than they ever understood digital game purchases, even though they mostly work the same. Now, you might be thinking, Gamer Champ, hey, wait, what do you mean this is a replacement for the old game sharing system? No, this is a new addition, in addition to the old game sharing system. It says right there on the video, we knew about this since a month ago, it says right there that you can actually opt out of the game card thing and just do the old system instead, and it'll work identically as it did before. This is a bit of misinformation bred out of misunderstanding of that little blurb that's been spreading since the literal day virtual game cards were announced. I've been trying to tell people, no, you are reading that wrong. That is not what that says, and we have official confirmation now that virtual game cards are here, that was definitely not what that blurb says. Now, that online license setting will make your console function closer to how, like, all the game sharing stuff functioned before, but very specifically, it makes you function similarly to a secondary console, not a primary console. If you turn that online license setting on, you must always, every single time you want to play any digital game, be connected to the internet when you try to boot it. And on top of that, you can only play it with your own account. You can never, ever, under any circumstances, play that game with any other user on the same Switch. It's just not allowed at all while that online verification setting is turned on. All right. So you might be thinking, well, sure, okay, it's basically like just an update to the old system. But what's the big deal? What's the problem? What is going on here? Why the 5-minute hate? This is going on a lot longer than 5 minutes too. This is a long time to be hating Nintendo for rebranding a feature. Well, let's just say it is the literal day that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out, and the virtual game card system was actually existing back then. Oh my, me and my wife, both big Zelda fans, so she loads up the virtual game card for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom into her Switch, and she boots it up, and she is playing it, having fun, and I'm like, oh boy, I want to have that fun too. So I've got the game on my Switch, and I don't have the virtual game card, but hey wait, the online license setting, I can just be a secondary system just as before, and boot the game up just as before. So I turn the online license setting on, I go to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and it checks the internet, and oh dear, oh me, oh my. This is a problem. With the virtual game card system, me and my wife can't play a game that just came out simultaneously together. Or at least we can't do it online. We can technically play at the same time through a little bit of a loophole. You can turn the game card system offline, which of course, it has offline privileges. It's allowed to be offline. And then over on my main system, I do the online verification check, and hey, it doesn't see anybody playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, so sure, we'll give it to you. And then we both get to play at the same time, with the major caveat that my wife is not capable of playing with any online features whatsoever. Now, some of you might be thinking, Gamer Champ, so what? Like, sure, you can't play the same game online on two consoles at the same time, but it's not like you could do that before. Hey, yeah, I'm surprised this was a bit of misinformation that's going around because, actually, yes, huh? Yep, just straight up, yes, huh? You could do that before, it was a thing you could do before, and I, coincidentally, have video graphic evidence. Remember my Super Mario Bros. Wonder video? VG Myths, can you beat Super Mario Bros. Wonder without collecting coins? Near the end of that, it was like a whole big deal. I needed to abuse online co-op, and I sure as heck am not gonna buy a second copy of the game. But hey, good news, I could just game share with my wife's Switch and play online on both Switches simultaneously with each other. In the prior system, you could actually do online multiplayer with two consoles with only one copy of the game. Now, you might be thinking, Gamer Champ, dumb. Just bad dumb. Really, really, really dumb. Stupid dumb. Really bad dumb. Just the stupidest in the entire world, probably? Cause like, I mean, they just patched a loophole. This was just a loophole in the pre-existing system, and they're just making the system work more like it's supposed to. I mean, launching the same game on two systems simultaneously at the same time with a single purchase? That is completely ridiculous and stupid. Why would Nintendo ever allow that? Well, that's a really good question, and maybe you should be asking Nintendo. This is Nintendo's customer support website as of April 24th of this year. It has a tutorial on how to play the same game simultaneously on two consoles at the same time on different accounts. I actually forgot about this and didn't really realize it until this morning when Steamboat Hedgie on Blue Sky told me. Thank you very much, Steamboat. You helped me a lot. I think I did know about it like months ago, but then I forgot because I'm stupid. As you can tell from this Nintendo customer support page, the old game sharing method was not a loophole. It was an officially supported feature of Nintendo Switch software. And even the biggest, most edge case use of it, where you could play the same game simultaneously on two consoles at the same time, that was officially supported. That was included with your purchase. And that is something you really need to focus on. When you bought any digital Nintendo Switch game, you were quite literally purchasing the ability to play it on multiple consoles at the same time simultaneously with different accounts. Nintendo knew about this feature. They supported this feature. They told users how to use this feature. This feature is part of the value of the game that you are buying. And in fact, that is how I was purchasing games. Basically, every single Nintendo Switch game that was bought in our household was bought on my account, specifically because we knew about the officially supported game sharing system. The exact moment that the virtual game card system was put out, me and my wife lost a huge, important feature of dozens of games that we'd already bought. And you did too. If you have ever at any point purchased a digital Nintendo Switch game, you just lost a feature. Whether you knew about it before or not, it was something that you paid for. And Nintendo knew about it. They knew about it because they put it on their customer support. They officially supported it. When they added the virtual game card update, they had to add that extra online check roadblock to prevent the feature that customers paid for from being used. Now, I'm gonna give Nintendo a little bit of benefit of the doubt because, remember, Nintendo isn't a person. Nintendo is a gigantic conglomerate of millions of tentacles. It's absolutely feasible that the tentacles were just working separately from each other. It wasn't like some big nefarious thing, wahaha, I shall take this feature feature away. It is entirely possible that like one tentacle was in the customer support page a little while back and just like writing all the blurbs on stuff that people were asking about. And, you know, people were asking about this game sharing thing the Nintendo Switch can apparently do. And so the customer support person was like, okay, I gotcha. I'll just make a page about that. I'll make a page about, yeah, apparently you can just make a game run on 2 consoles at the same time simultaneously. I'll just write that little blurb there. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then a while later, a completely different tentacle at Nintendo is working on the virtual game card system, and they're going, okay, so how are we going to implement this virtual game card system? Well, I mean, obviously we can't let people play the same game simultaneously on 2 consoles at the same time. That's like, why would we ever support that? That's a stupid feature. Obviously that's not, that's like even if that does exist, it's probably just a loophole or something. So I'm just gonna code in real quick a little imitation that it checks if the game's being played on another console, because I mean, like, who cares? So yeah, in that hypothetical, you know, it wasn't a malicious thing. It was just 2 tentacles working at the same time, and they just sort of accidentally contradicted each other. But for our purposes, as people who are buying things from Nintendo, this conglomerate of tentacles, does not matter. It does not matter if it was an intentional, malicious thing, which I'm not gonna say it was. I can't prove it was malicious, but the facts are Nintendo officially supported this feature. It is a thing that you paid for when you bought digital Nintendo Switch games, and Nintendo has removed it. Those are 2 facts. Those facts cannot be eliminated from reality. I hope this whole thing has helped you understand a bit more why I'm just so angry. Yeah, gotta get that 17-minute hate in there. In fact, it's actually gonna be longer than 17 minutes because there is something else about the virtual game cards that I'm just so mad, angry. Okay, it's not that bad. So they also additionally sort of added in what I'm pretty sure is an unintentional little like bug in the virtual game card system. Not exactly a bug, but just something that is probably not wanted behavior. So let's say hypothetically, right now at this very moment, I'm thinking, this is it. This is time. I am going to boot up The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I am going to beat it without pausing. Oh yeah, baby, that's right. VG Myths Tears of the Kingdom, let's go, baby, let's go. Ooh, but wait, I just remembered. Good thing I remembered. Our internet is getting upgraded soon. They're probably gonna be turning it off, so just in case, I should probably grab that virtual game card that's on my wife's system and put it into my system. Here we are on my wife's Switch, gonna go over to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and we are going to transfer that game card over to my Switch, baby. Now let's go back over here to my Switch, just waiting for that virtual game card to show up on Tears of the Kingdom, and oh hey, yeah, there it is, along with a download. That is a career-ending mistake in the virtual game card system. I had version 1.10 of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on my Switch, which was the launch day version, and is incredibly important for a challenge runner because it has tons of glitches that were patched out later. Don't worry though, I didn't actually update Tears of the Kingdom. This was all just editing magic. Tears is fine, it's still on 1.10. I actually just updated. But still, the really important thing was, this was an unauthorized download. I very explicitly have automatic updates turned off on my Switch, and that setting was ignored when the game card got put in. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there's some Tears of the Kingdom speedrunner out there who very unfortunately, when the game card system got introduced, was like, oh hey, maybe I'll test this out with Tears of the Kingdom. And then bam! They lost their ability to speedrun the game instantly. This thing with patches is actually like really hanging over me really bad. Like I am in like panic mode. I am not safe anymore. At any moment, some nefarious individual could break into my house and just like go grab my wife's Switch and go mwahaha. I'm going to move the virtual game card from this Switch to Gamer Champ Switch and thus prevent her from playing Tears of the Kingdom on 1.10 ever again. And also really important, it's not just a big deal for like, if you don't want to download a later patch, unauthorized downloads are a really important thing that should not ever happen for other reasons, like if you're on a metered connection. There was actually a thing that happened back in 2016 where Windows was like trying to get everybody to update to Windows 10. They're like, come on everybody, gotta go Windows 10, Windows 10 for everybody, come on, come on, come on, come on. And so it you know, aggressively pushed a Windows 10 update to a laptop that was being used by an anti-poaching group in Africa. That was a really, really big deal for them because their bandwidth is limited. They have a budget for that. They can't just be doing random several gigabyte downloads without any authorization. Obviously, that's more of an edge case extreme example, but there are people on metered connections who play their Nintendo Switch on them. But yeah, I am pretty sure that is an unintentional little mistake in the virtual game card system. I can't imagine Nintendo, like, was trying to push unauthorized downloads on people. They should know how big a deal that is. So I hope and expect this is something that they'll catch on to and patch soon. But still, until then, gosh, Tears patches are hanging over me pretty bad right now. All right, that's it. That's the end of my rants. We have thoroughly hated Nintendo now. We can go back to loving Nintendo for all the cool things they do. I can't wait to go buy Mario Kart World for $80 soon. Gonna be real fun. Ooh boy, I am salivating thinking of Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour at $10. Hi everybody, it's me again. It's tomorrow morning. I had some time to think about it, and there's just a little more that I wanted to add on to the end. So first off, I do want to note, remember that whole thing where you can actually like share with people in your family group, like that for up to 14 days, and how cool and amazing that is? Yeah, no, I can't do it. There is a hidden limitation in there where you are not allowed to do the lending thing if you have people who are parts of different families on your Switch. It is so stupid and arbitrary. So I'm just literally not allowed to use one of the very few new features of virtual game cards because I happen to know people. So be aware, you are not allowed to share games with your family members if you know someone who's in a different family. Do not know people in a different family. Disallowed. Also, I just really want to stress, going back to the whole not being able to share and like play the game simultaneously on two consoles at the same time thing. This is really bad. I'm not stressing enough how bad this is thinking about it overnight. Nintendo's been like shotgunning anti-consumer moves with all of the stuff we're finding out about the Switch 2. I would not have been getting a Switch 2 at launch, possibly for a long while, waiting to see how things turn out, if it wasn't my job. Because I have this YouTube channel, doing Switch 2 games close to release would be really good for me financially, keep me financially safe. That's compelling me to still get the Switch 2 against my morals. But this is a step beyond everything with the Switch 2. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not getting a Switch 2 at launch still, because gosh, groceries look really good right now. But super tempting, I could probably still get by on just like a Rogue Legacy video or two. Nintendo is removing a feature from the Switch 1 that you paid for. Even giving the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this was accidental, maybe they didn't realize it was an officially supported feature when they disabled it. Well, they sure as hell fucking know now, so they have no fucking excuse. If game sharing doesn't go back to being fully enabled again, if Nintendo doesn't go oopsies, we did an oopsies, and fix the oopsies, then it's not a fucking oopsies anymore. It's fucking intentional, and it's fucking gross. Okay, also, you know what? I wasn't going to do this before because I'm just trying to rush this out, but you know what? I'm just going to really rush it. I'd feel bad if I didn't. I'm going to do the Patreon shoutouts now. It's all going to be one take. Special thanks to all Patreon backers, including Salty Sweet, Leslam, Alex Nelson. Can you say hi to Crustacean Creep for me? Sure, hi Crustacean Creep. Evil Game Tip is like Bad Evening Nobody, and I'm looking forward to WH Facts, the offline on paper board game movie. Candy Crab Trans says Gwen is great. Natalie, Kalita, Jorb, Art Combs, Now I Only Want to Triumph. Plus, users may have given live birth to well-developed babies and were attentive parents who lived in pods, attempted wholesomeness. Literal cat meant leaf wing cat girl is gay and doesn't go to bed on time. Reblog if you two are gay and or don't go to bed on time. Or objection wishes everyone the best of luck with their real life 2025 damageless run. Trish Chandler, Toodle Sack 12, F. Amadon, Turknit, frequently a doofus, occasionally an idiot, always a fool. Brisky, Ian Beck, Biohazard, oh hey that's me, Fluff System, Arsonist Cat, Sorio 99, Cody Merchant, Touchtone, Banana Phone, Lanford, Bulgania, Glogorichin, Schwab, Will and Celiant, Go Go Goch. Kaiser says please don't forget to look after your physical, mental, and emotional health while gaming, speedrunning, and challenge. Everyone's favorite clan Ghost Bear, McWarrior, Aurelia. Clan Ghost Bear, Mech Warrior, Aurelia, Bella, Ken of Red Lions, Morgan Dunanex, Getsugar, Love Story Gaming, TTV, Frilly Lily, Celica, Teheka, Kelzo, Flame Solus, Macaroni Cat personally endorses running away like a little sissy baby, Autistic Yu-Gi-Oh, Neo Sam Man 4040, Jink Shadow, Random Internet Cat is a random cat on the internet and should not under any circumstances be trusted to non-cat things. Kimberly, the Gamer Bee, reminds you to hydrate right this minute, young man. Daybreak, the Auroran Goddess, an over-ambitious dumbass is not okay after Pokemon Horizons episode 89. Gaming Medics, that is pretty invalid. Nicole, the Gamer Girl and Gamer Girl, Blind Mind Planet 84, Bruna Kobold, Fictional Breach. Jesus. Highly Gwendolyn Metzger, Transflag, a Starfish at Large, Idraman, Ella, Vanellian, BJ Mashed Potato says to make sure you drink enough water and take care of yourself. Shadowfox0002, CK the Penguin supports Miss Champ and states that trans rights are human rights. Eden Osp, witch autistic. Oh my god. Eden Osp, witch aesthetic. Pennyco1, my gaydar broke, give me your transceiver. Stop Sign EX, Corporal High, Detective Chio. Zytra, who was going to make the name changes into a consistent bit but forgot to. Arion Signalis is the Elster Signalis fan club and challenges you to play Signalis without pointing at any of the characters in Cassie, Raccoona, Raven the trans rook in her reading nook, Cragcyrus the best Pokemon. This is not a patron name. This is me, GamerChamp3000, genuinely stating the truth. Also, Man 9001 is, oh god, no, not more damageless Pokemon. All the names on the right side of GameChamp's screen. That doesn't make any sense right now. Eris, Harmonious Nature, Georgie Ulivanoff, Fake Tokafan, Jetstream Jackie wants you to know that her cat goggles is both fluffy and gay. Samoris, Bluebeat, Through for my Howlet, Lurker Below, Saint Lesbian and Silly World, Lodestar, your number one fan, the Light Fire Gullet, Python is everything, and Luna Blizzard, but not Blizzica, Gay Bastich, Fujoshi Urinal, oh god, I scrolled. They're called Transformers, not Cisformers. Lula Lockhart likes alliteration. Psychic Clips, Bug Wife, Very Gucci, Ferris V5 will never stop drinking lattes, a dubious little creature, Quack, bunch of sevens, Jared Bowser, Junma, World's Longest Game of Chess Over, Let's Try Checkers, Red A3 to B4, Green Snood, the Dog Cat Possum Girl Thing, is very good at gender and very bad at having energay. The other 2,999 game champs in the basement, Abigail Dandelion, Immersa Bella, Toru Adachi of the Cabbage Arcana, Kay, Kaio Marsali, Kami-sama, Storm 7, Hank J. Wimbledon, Working Retail. No, wait, it was supposed to be Storm V. I think they wanted me to mispronounce it, I think. Naughty Neo 13, Fruit Squish, Kaya, your local Transavali, who finally, after like 7 months, finished casting Fireball, Hoshizora, Soul VT, Paper Mario 332 has reclaimed his account from his account because because he can spell sauce correctly now. Maxi89C, Haley McLean, when the gender is trans, Intrusive Thought, Nightmare King, Emerald is now informing you that luck is a skill, Max, all the bugs Yugi has killed, Fumits Mew, Theta927, Patrick Farrow, Chas Hackman, Triangle and Drusy, Han Ackles, Derphaven, Molly Penelope III, the world's biggest lesbian, hopes you have a uriful day, Albino the Infernape is a trans cat girl, Bacon the Tired, insert expletive of choice, I bet you can't guess where I got the name Zenith, remember to love your pets, miss you Muffy and Shanae, not Anon42, Super Wampa 22, Fern says hi Baku Bread of Bread fame, the Thetheride, Stefan, I'm sorry, Meownarchy, aka Roxy, Bamboo Cutter, Cosmic Karma, Axie the Axolotl, whose gender was stolen while platonically making out with Queen Snoo, the Dog Cat Possum Girl Thing, who is very G, Asphalt, Scab2553 says this production is brought to you by Big Gender, Big Sexuality, Big Patreon, Big Latte, Big Pain, and Big Suffering, Goomba Odyssey, Hi529 says, remember, it'll be alright no matter how much it sucks in the meantime, Alex Smith, Simply Mark, Quip, Turku, Bacon, Tilted Pizza, Connor Poner 3, Connor Poner 3, Rarely Used 3, Battery 0925, Satchel Feis, a rotating snake gif, might be a dragon, Ranger next, Trey because why not, Terran Bagnet, a bad name, Zero, my part, In my epic voice, I will do something and you cannot stop me. I am the embodiment of pure chaos. Burning... Oh, in unepic voice. Burning Ash says, translates to human rights. Gyler Tones, Cheddar, Clockwork Kobold, Gyaru Supremacy, Rage Mage 69, Kometo Prime, Planter of Fun, Selena McClellan, I pay my exotic tavern girl, so why not you too, Transflag, Brock the Archivist, Getting So Scared, Heretical Hampter, Nicholas Brown, Anthony Cermak, King of Jacks, but I'm a girl now, so I guess it's Queen of Jills. Augustus, Delson Harbinger, Powered by Eels, Jackwolf5775. We're in the ones that are like new since I started doing the exclusivity thing, I think, and it's getting really, it's hard because like they're all new. Oh, wait, what? I think I was like Jackwolf5775, Boingus Doingus. Did I say Powered by Eels? Powered by Eels. Can I say this? I don't know if I can say this. Fine, I'll say it, Rat Race. Baku Bread of Bread fame. You may know me from anime and slash or manga. Just verb. Dorbert Theodore Orvington the Zeroth. May Cilantro. Shaymir. Shy Guy the Masquerade. Superbird. Definitely not SCP-049. Ekron Vulture. Old Man Yelling. Niveria. Consolardi 282. Amuin? Sorry. Robobot fan. Okay, that's it. Go out. Go leave. Go. Get out. Please hate Nintendo. Goodbye.